What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're talking all about Alephium and why I do think that it could be considered a Kaspa killer under so many aspects. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for the Kaspa community. I honestly don't care. I couldn't care any less. If you live in a cold, you're probably doing something wrong. This is gonna be a very unbiased comparison based on facts and numbers, and also I'm just gonna tell you which one I would go for right now. Alephium is another proof of work project that is being compared to Kaspa for a lot of reasons, but it's sitting at a much lower market cap. So it could be already a good, valuable investment right now. Without taking anything that I say as financial advice, you can obviously see that the market cap of Alephium right now is only 200 million in market cap, whereas if I look at the market cap of Kaspa, it's 4 billion. So that is around 20 times the market cap of Alephium. So if they were to do the same amount of excess, obviously Kaspa would need a lot more liquidity and market cap raises to do the same amount of excess that Alephium could do. But let's go straight to the basics. Obviously, one of the main points that the Kaspa community wants to make when comparing the two or comparing Kaspa to anything else is that Kaspa is completely fair launch. What does that mean? It means that Kaspa was launched without the real help of VC investments, without smart money. It was completely decentralized, created from zero, and you can even see in the chart of Kaspa that it started absolutely from zero, and there was no pre-mine supply, meaning that the miners didn't create any sort of Kaspa coins before launching the project on the market. This is, however, not true when it comes to Alephium, and this is why the chart from the beginning looks different, because there was obviously pre-mine supply and then it was sort of dumped over the bear market. But this also makes it less relevant, in my opinion, to talk about decentralization and fair launch, because although we have pre-mine supply with Alephium, that pre-mine supply was pretty much all dumped during the bear market, and you can see that the price of Alephium dropped significantly, pretty much went to zero, because the supply that was pre-mined and allocated to VCs, etc., was sort of dumped almost entirely during the bear market. And you can see, in fact, that if you zoom in a little bit, the chart of Kaspa doesn't look all that different from the one of Alephium if you remove this part of pre-mine supply that was dumped in the bear market. So I don't think that the argument of fair launch and decentralization, pre-mining, I just don't think that it makes a lot of sense. And also, I really want to say this about the Kaspa community. It's really living in a cult right now, in a cult mindset, pretty much what I saw in the Cardano in the previous bull cycle. I'm not comparing Kaspa and Cardano. Obviously, Kaspa is a much better project than Cardano, but this cult aspect, in my opinion, is not really healthy for the mindset and for the community itself. And I think the community was in a much healthier spot when I first was covering Kaspa 1 year ago, but maybe I digress a little bit. But one of the points that I really want to make you come across is the fact that Kaspa maxes and Kaspa cultists are more focused in 99% of cases into investing into a project that is more decentralized than anything else, rather than actually looking at the returns that they're going to be able to do in the short to long term. And that, in my opinion, is just a recipe for disaster. I'm more interested into the excess, the multipliers that I can do out of an investment from when I buy until when I'm going to sell, than investing into the more decentralized project. I don't think that that is the spot for anyone. I don't care into investing into a decentralized project. I don't care into investing into a VC money. I just care about investing into a project that is going to yield money, and for myself and for my community. Given the fact that Alephium is still considered a VC project, I also see advantages with that. A lot of people don't like VC projects. I personally do like them, because VC money, smart money, is what eventually moves the market, what actually is gonna make a project pump in the long term, because a project can only go so far when it's just so decentralized and retail focused. This is why Kaspa and the Kaspa chart was striving so hard in the bear market. But people are potentially right now looking for something else that is going to take them one step forward. There is not to be said that Kaspa is a bad investment. In fact, I have a much bigger bag of Kaspa than Alephium in my portfolio. I do strongly believe in Kaspa, but I just want you to be aware of what VC money means for a project, and I just want you to just stop perhaps listening to all these Kaspa maxes that are going to say, oh, Kaspa $10, Kaspa $50, because that is just not going to happen, and there just needs to be some certain conditions for the Kaspa price to even go to $2 perhaps this bull cycle. I don't want to make this video particularly tech oriented. I'm sure that there's a lot of videos that are more in depth when it comes to technical, analyzing hash rate and returns on investments for the miners. For what I can see right now, in a nutshell, Alephium mining seems to be more worth it, seems to be more profitable, because Kaspa mining has become really just not as profitable in the last 3 to 6 months. And this is also probably what has caused the price of Kaspa to stall a little bit. Whereas Alephium mining, it is much smaller, obviously, when it comes to hash rate and all the metrics. So it remains more profitable. But again, I'm not an expert in mining. There's probably better videos that you can find for that. Obviously, when it comes to the ecosystem, I do believe that there's much bigger opportunities to build on Alephium. If you just go on Alphaland, you're going to be able to find all of the dApps that are built on Alephium. And when it comes to Kaspa, there's no really much that is being built on Kaspa right now. There are some utility projects that are being worked behind the scenes. Obviously, nothing launched for the moment. Some decentralized exchanges, some KRC20 meme coins. I don't see that ecosystem just thriving as of yet. Perhaps it will. It's not even on Dex Screener, so obviously the degens are not even investing on that. There's no really big trading bots that are supporting that at the moment. However, I see that some of the major Kaspa meme coins are already supported in exchanges like Bitmart or XT.com. So perhaps you could be early into KRC20 meme coins. I'm personally not dealing with them myself. But yeah, meme coins on Alephium, on the other hand, are extremely lacking. There's not many meme coins built on Alephium at all. There's probably 2 or 3 that I've seen that were worth maybe taking a look at. But when it comes to actual decentralized applications, you can see that there's a lot of support right here, and there's a lot of things that are being built on this. And because of it, I gotta give the win to Alephium when it comes to dApps. But on the other hand, I need to give the win to Kaspa when it comes to meme coins, although I still don't consider that as a huge win. When it comes to wallet support, they both have hot wallet support, and they're also getting very big when it comes to cold storage. Obviously, Kaspa has been supported from Tangent forever. I would invite you to check out Tangent Wallet. This is I use for the majority of my crypto. However, this is not supporting Alephium as of yet, but I did see a post that Tangent is going to be supporting Alephium on the mainnet very soon. Right now, it's only on the Ethereum as a ERC20 token, so I would not recommend that. But they actually are supported on OneKey, and I also happen to have a referral link that is going to give you 5% discount with code CIPRO at checkout. You're going to be able to find it down in the description, such as every other one of my links and referrals and discounts, including centralized exchanges with massive bonus referrals. That is going to be down in the description as always. And they also have a co-branded wallet for OneKey Classic. It's only $99 with my discount $94. So yeah, check it out. I'm currently storing my Alephium of OneKey myself. I obviously always want to put my funds to cold storage. Know your keys, know your crypto. Don't leave your money on exchanges, and put them on cold storage so you can actually sleep safe at night. Other things to consider, I do think that the journey of centralized exchange listings of Kaspa and Alephium could be considered quite similar. However, the one of Alephium sits at a much earlier stage. So one of the things that is definitely worth mentioning is that they're both listed on Uphold, which is a very normie and US friendly situation, because there's not a lot of chances of you getting Alephium in the US unless you really know what you're doing. But Uphold solves this problem. Would I recommend buying that? Personally not, especially if you can find a workaround. If I was to buy Alephium in the US right now, I would still use probably something like CoinEx or Bitmart. Those are also non-KYC exchanges that you should be able to use from the US with a VPN. If you need a VPN, I also have a discount for NordVPN in the description. If you are anywhere else in the world, I would buy it on BitGet and Maxi, and I have referrals for those as well in the video description. Kaspa was looking very similar back in the day. Obviously, it has since been listed on Bybit, on Qcoin, and even recently on Kraken, which marks the first tier 1 exchange listing of Kaspa, which also brings it to the tier 1 listing situation. What is the situation with both? Obviously, Kraken is to be considered the first milestone. Coinbase and Binance are really the big tier 1 exchanges, even OKX to some certain degree. But if Kaspa was to be listed on Binance and Coinbase, then obviously we would have a massive run-up in price, and I think that we would go even 3 to 4x pretty much immediately. Kaspa is still much closer to this target. Alephium got a long way to go. It's not listed even on tier 2 exchanges. It's not on Bybit, on Qcoin. So there's a much bigger room for improvement, in my opinion, for Alephium, because even Alephium going to tier 2 exchanges, the price is probably gonna skyrocket from here. And if we look at the recent price action, the chart of Alephium even looks better than the one of Kaspa, in my opinion, because even on a very red market that we've seen in the last 2 or 3 days, Alephium was still able to achieve a big run up, almost going 2x overnight, and that was actually a big deal. A lot of people have started making tons of profits into Alephium, and with the potential of exchange listings and with the new partnerships and developments that Alephium is having, I do believe that just on a single multiplier risk-to-reward ratio, Alephium could be a smarter investment to make more access. However, Kaspa is still to be considered much safer. Obviously, we are comparing a 200 million market cap to a 4 billion, so it's just a considerable difference to look at. I think that both Kaspa and Alephium could be considered the trilemma killers, solving the crypto trilemma of decentralization, scalability, and security. Obviously, decentralization, you can think of Bitcoin. On security, programmability, you can think about Ethereum. And on scalability, you can think about Solana. Alephium solves all of this. Kaspa also solves all of this. The Kaspa maxes are going to say, but actually Alephium is not decentralized. But again, I dare to disagree because the pre-mine supply was sold. The VC allocations were kind of sold during the bear market. And now, obviously, they probably injected some more smart money to pump the price. But this is a good thing and doesn't take away from the decentralization aspect of Alephium. If you really want to be nitpicky, then yeah, Kaspa is a little bit more decentralized. But again, I don't see it as a selling point, although the Kaspa maxes will beg to differ. There's also been very big announcements. So Alephium has just partnered with the Gigatons Group billion-dollar climate revolution, aiming to tokenize $100 billion over the next few years, powering net zero emissions. There's also an article there I would invite you to check out that was posted on the Alephium Gazette. What you need to know that this makes proof of work and proof of less work concept created by Alephium even more environmentally friendly. And this could potentially be even another catalyst event to make Alephium go even more mainstream. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Final considerations. I do believe that both projects are great, and obviously what you believe is better is going to be very subjective to what you believe. I honestly don't believe that being invested into the most decentralized project makes any sort of sense. I do believe into investing into buying low and selling high, and I do believe in what is going to yield me better returns. Kaspa is much safer, much bigger in market cap. I have way more Kaspa than I have with Alephium. However, I do believe that while Alephium is obviously higher risk, it's potentially going to give me much better rewards. So it's definitely deserving a spot in your portfolio, such as Kaspa does. But I think that when it comes to just access that you're going to achieve this bull cycle, Alephium is the winner. And with also the bigger potential that Alephium has for exchange listings, given that it's not even on tier 2 exchanges, unlike Kaspa, then I do believe that Alephium could be an easy winner. But again, I don't want to discredit Kaspa in any sort of way, because I do believe in Kaspa. I do believe in both projects. They just are a little different, and they're probably with different risks involved as well. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts. I want to hear from you as always. If you want to get all the early alpha, all of my calls, all the good stuff, access to private sales, buy alerts, swing trading signals with meme coins, everything is through my VIP group. It's going to be the first link down in the description. You might have a once in a lifetime opportunity to create generational wealth this bull cycle. Don't waste it. I hope to see you there and help you out with your crypto investing journey. And until then, take care for now.